The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of my Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I started from PBS Kids. What you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video.
Come on, boys, get loud. 'Cause when the music starts bumping, the whole place will be jumping. It's my scene, you know what I mean.
Okay, so this wig I got on my head right now, it was actually a wig that I bought for a Princess Morbucks cosplay. It's giving Miss Bellum, and somebody even pointed out that this wig looked like Miss Bellum. So it's the Miss Bellum wig now, and I'm in my Miss Bellum era at the moment. So yeah, y'all might see this on my head a lot more because I'm feeling it. It's cute. I have red undertones. It looks cute on me. Hey y'all, it's Harriana and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Harriana and welcome back to The Pirate Ship, also known as Harry Hook's Pirate Ship. I am the captain, you are not my first mate. I've got no first mate because you wanna know why? Always bring your ear closer to the speaker when I say this so you can hear me clearly. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate. But hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Harriana and I like to make content based off nostalgia, family, children's entertainment, and all the issues that I find with the nostalgia. Today's video is not going to be about either of those things or just much of anything I talk about on my channel, because for those of you guys who do not know, my mommy died at the end of 2021, literally like a month before my birthday, and I was devastated. Like, of course my mama died. So it's just been a really strange time, I'd say. And I went onto my YouTube community tab because I feel like I have gotten to a point where I am able to, you know, deal with it in a bit of a better way, but I'm still not dealing with it well. It's weird. Death is a weird thing. But I straight up said, hey, would any of you guys be interested on some ways on how to be able to deal with death and whatever the fuck? And a lot of people die all the time in people's lives, because not too long after my mama died, three of my uncles died, one of my aunties died, and then my cousin died. So it was a lot going on within our family. It's a lot. So yeah, your girl, not good. So I asked you guys, do you guys want some tips and tricks on how I'm able to handle death, and to see if y'all would be able to, like, you know, take away from this. And pretty you guys are interested in this, but before we get started, I just want to make a brief disclaimer. I'm not a therapist, like, at all. I'm not a therapist. If you need to go to the doctor about the way the death going on in your life is affecting you, do that shit. Like, I am not a therapist. I am not licensed any of this. This is just my advice on some ways on how you can deal with death and the grieving process in some ways that are a bit affordable, I say, because I understand, like, they always say go to therapy, but therapy costs a fucking lot. Like, even on BetterHelp, that shit costs a lot. So I am in therapy, by the way. I do want to make that transparent. Not gonna talk about what I talk about in therapy on here because that's none of y'all business. But yeah, I am in therapy. It does help me, but I realize that can't be like the only thing that's helping me. So I just want to give some background about how I've always dealt with death, and then I'm gonna get into it with how I've been dealing with it. And then also on my Instagram page, which is just Harriana, I asked you guys to send me like some questions if you guys are like curious to know like a little bit more about grief and whatever the fuck. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So this a little bit of background about this. I don't want to, like, you know, it's trying to stay a bit private about this because it's just something that's really weighing on me and my family, because it fucking sucks. Someone died. But before, I already knew that I did not respond well to death. I'll just go ahead and say that shit. I do not respond well to death. Never had, never will. I think the first time where I actually realized that this was really bad was when I watched The Odd Life of Timothy Green when I was like 15 or 14 years old, and I was bawling my eyes out. Like, it was actually bad. And there was another movie I watched where I was just devastated and I was crying so hard. It was Big Hero 6. So that right there was just like, okay, I already know that I don't deal with this well, and then I don't think anybody really deals with it well because some people just don't cry, but then some people do. And then I remember it was a friend of mine from when I used to do like cheerleading. I wasn't on like a team with her or nothing. I was just always at that cheer gym, so I just say I did cheerleading. She passed away back in like 2018. Very much devastated when I found that out. And mind you, like I didn't cry when I found out the news, but when I went to her viewing and I saw her dead body there in the casket, I lost it. I couldn't do it. I was devastated. I was crying. My mama had me in her arms crying because she was not. She just wanted to make her child was okay. It was bad. Okay, it was bad. But moving forward from that, I'd say that the death of Cameron Boyce is when I realized that, like, oh yeah, this is not okay. Like, yeah, this is bad. And the way you're responding to this, imagine how it's gonna feel when somebody super uber duper close to you passes away. So, mind you, I just want to give a little bit of context. I was a big fan of Cameron Boyce since I was like 12 years old. Very young, very impressionable. Big fan of him, mainly because I was getting bullied, picked on so bad when I was at that school. There were some things that I will not say happened during my time there, especially what was going on then, and it still affects me now till adulthood. So at that time period, I literally, it's so weird because I noticed that so many people tend to do this, but when like we're at an age where we're like young, we don't have any friends, we feel alone in our situations, and we feel like nobody is helping us, and we're low-key like very much unhinged, we tend to, you know, latch on to like public figures as celebrities and this and that and the third. And I did latch on to like a lot of like Disney Channel celebrities at that time period, and Cameron Boyce was just one of them. So yeah, I've always looked up to him, always admired him. Mainly the main reason why I admire him so much is because he reminded me so much of myself at that time period. So I was always like a super duper big fan of him. And mind you, the way his death honestly affected the way I view myself and like celebrities. Because anybody that knows me now, I don't give a fuck about celebrities no more. I don't care about celebrity drama. I follow them on Instagram because I like their pictures that they post. That's it. I don't care. I don't care about celebrity drama. I don't get invested. I don't even really care to go to concerts like that no more. So I truly have fixed my relationship with celebrity culture after he's passed away because I saw how much his death devastated me. But then I also had to think about like the given circumstances of what came along at that time period as to why it hurt me so much. And it just reminded me of that thing where people were talking about why y'all be crying when a celebrity died? Y'all didn't know that person. And I was like, you don't understand the kind of impact that that person had on them. So yeah, shut the fuck up. So I was devastated. I did not eat for like almost a whole week. I was living off of yogurt and Ritz crackers that whole week after he died. I was devastated. I was sick to my damn stomach. I could not do it. I was crying. My mom was worried about me. My whole family was worried about me. But then that was when I realized that I did not respond to death well. And I did not really have good coping mechanisms too either at that time period. So yeah, that shit fucking sucked. So fast forward to my mom passing away. We do have to go back in time to where I was little. My mom has always had issues with her health. So I knew this day was coming, but I didn't necessarily think it would have came like this quickly on in my life. So she's always had issues with her health. I've always kind of like had to stay home a lot to take care of her and be there for her. She needed like assistance or anything like that. And I feel like that just kind of like took away a lot of, I don't want to necessarily say it took away a lot of my childhood, but so much of like my life up until the day she died was me just constantly worrying about her and her health and whatever. And I understand it is stressful to deal with. It is so fucking stressful when somebody that you love and care for is like sick and you kind of have to just be there for them regardless. You gotta help them. It's a very weird feeling, I'd say. And I'm gonna be completely transparent about like how I felt on the day that she died. It was like I no longer have to take care of this person, which means that all these other obstacles that stop me from doing what I really want to do in my life are gone. Like, I no longer have to dedicate so much of my time to caring for my mother. But then also, it's like, while you do have all the time to do that, you can't because of the effect that this is having on your mind and your body. Because grief treats you like a fucking bitch, okay? It's actually really, really terrible. Because I remember during the time when my mom was like really, really sick, there's a lot of reasons why the progenies ended up getting postponed, but it's like two major ones where it's just like we doing donations now because that shit costs so much of my own money. Okay. But also I was so stressed out the entire time because it was why we had to like change up things to begin with, because we were supposed to go ahead and start shooting them long episodes, but that literally like a month before we had to start shooting and getting ready for pre-production, that is when things with my mom was helping them getting worse. And I contacted the cast about it, and I was very much transparent with them and the crew, talking about my mom's health is getting worse and I do need to be there for her, which means that I have to take away some time from this project in order to be there for her. So yeah, that happened, and it's like when she passed away, that the progenies, I love it, but it's like being a showrunner and making a show is hard. Anybody that knows that making things is hard. I just needed a bit of a break. Y'all know I still love the series. I truly do. Still have the Instagram page up, and there's like one more episode that we have like filmed that we can get out before we have nothing left to show before we need to start filming again. But I just needed a bit of a break from it because at that time of like looking back at that footage and thinking back at that time period, I just can't help but think of how stressed out I was because my mom really needed me at that time period, and it was just too much. It was just a lot to handle. So that's that right there. It's affected a lot. It's affected my appetite deeply. I've always been somebody that struggled with anxiety, so that's like a factor. But y'all, I like literally, I have lost weight like since my mama died. Like, I've always been like fairly skinny. I've always been like thin like this, but I noticed I'm just like, my pants are not as snug as they used to be. This shit is falling off my body, and I'm just like, okay. So that's that. I do try to make sure I'm eating, though. I do try to make sure I at least eat every day, because it's so fucking hard sometimes, because I just don't be hungry, or I'll just randomly get hungry out of nowhere in the middle of the night and just like start binge eating. It's weird. So that is that right there. And because of that, it's really affected my relationship with exercise. As I love to go outside, like I love to go out and jog and shit like that and whatever. I do like to go to the gym, but I noticed that because of like the lack of appetite that I have, which means like I'm eating less, I have to start taking like Dramamine and shit like that. But I noticed that I can't necessarily work out, like do like a super duper long workout or whatnot, but I still do need to make sure I am getting some exercise and do make sure I am eating somewhat healthy, because Black people, we need to start being honest about these health issues within our communities and our families, because it's literally kind of what's been killing our parents. Like, I'm not even joking, it's the truth. But it has made me very much very health conscious too, just as well. Anxiety has been on 10. It's part of the reason why I don't necessarily feel comfortable with like going out and partying and whatnot, because the virus is still out here, okay? And I've always been scared about catching that. But then also, I'm just like nervous about health in general. Like, literally, my mom died because of health issues. My uncle died because of health issues. My auntie died because of health issues. It was bad, okay? Like, it was actually very terrifying. So I have dealt with like so much anxiety that has come from that. I'm really tired a lot, by the way. Super duper tired. I know that some people be saying that I talk too slow sometimes in my videos, or I talk weird or whatnot. I'm just fucking tired, okay? I'm literally exhausted, and it's part of the reason why I kind of be like so closed off into myself a lot now lately, because my friends be hitting me up and they be like, you can hang out with us. Like, we're here for you. We love you. This and the third. I'm just like, yo, I'm tired. I'm like, I understand. I'm tired. Like, my main focus is like school and like work. Like going out and whatnot is nice, but I'm not even declining because I don't want to go. It's because like anxiety is bad, and then also I'm just drained of energy. So that's that right there. And usually if I do plan to go out, it's something I'm planning it like a whole like 3 weeks in advance or some shit. Or not even 3 weeks, but like a week in advance. So that's that. That's just kind of like the basics of like how like being like constantly worried about my mom all the time since I was little about her health has affected me. And now that I no longer have to worry about that, I'm basically having a lot of other issues that I'm dealing with because of the effects of grief. Grief is so nasty on your body, y'all. I'm not even joking. The headaches, the can't sleep and then you're sleeping too much, the not hungry and then one day you just eat almost everything in sight. The breakouts, the eczema breakouts. Yeah, I've always been somebody that got bad eczema. It's kind of been bad on my hands lately, but I noticed that I cannot eat certain things anymore because it makes my eczema flare up too bad. Like, I can't eat cashews no more because it just makes my eczema too bad. I finally figured that out. That's what's kind of been making my hands look like this. But breakouts on the face, it's bad. It's a lot, but now that you kind of have a gist of like how it's been affecting me and my body and whatnot, and I noticed that there are certain things that like affected my anxiety and depression and all that, and social media. So before we get started on the list of things that helped me with dealing with grief, is get the fuck off social media. I'm not even joking. Spending less time on social media literally has helped me tremendously. Like, I have cut my social media uses and like by like 75%. Like, and I don't regret it at all. I cut it for sure. It's helped me a lot mainly because I noticed that social media is not bad. It's just the shit that be on it. And it's just, it be so much negativity sometimes where I'm just like, okay, I don't want to hear what Jordan PP Man has to say for like the 40th time. We tired of that man. We know he's full of shit. I don't want to hear it. And then people dragging Bishop Hero. And it's just not even just stuff like that. It just be like J.K. Rowling doing this fuckery again. And I'm just like, okay, the whole TL is just going to be people dragging her for the day, which is well deserved. But then also at the same time, that is stressful to look at all the time. And then also I gotta remember that I don't care about everybody's unpopular opinion on every little last fucking thing here. I'm not in the mood to argue with people. I'm not in the mood for this. I'm not in the mood for that. And I feel like because of, I felt like I had to be on social media all the time because I was on social media, and I was like, no, you don't. You don't have to do that, okay? So it's just kind of like putting my foot down with myself has helped me a lot. But like, yeah, you don't have to be there all the time because you have it. That's like, because I remember I used to like feel really guilty about not going to the gym. And I was like, just because you have a gym membership does not mean that you constantly have to be there. You're fine. It's okay. So that, and it's just like, I don't care about celebrity drama. And celebrity drama literally runs social media. So that's there. I no longer care to make videos about drama. Like, I do not care to make videos about celebrity drama no more. That's why I was like, I want to go at my content with a like nicer approach, I'd say. I want to be a lot nicer with my videos because I realized that some of the shit I used to be saying was like really mean, and I'm just like, yeah, I regret that. I shouldn't have said that shit. That was actually very mean. No. So I do like want to have a nicer approach when it comes to my content, and I feel like I've been doing that pretty well for the most part. Like I said, no longer talking about celebrities really like outside of like their work and like whatever, unless it's Dory and like Dr. Seuss. I'm always dragging him. Y'all already know. But that is just something that I just stopped looking at. I don't look at. I don't even really check the news that much either because it's important to check the news too. But I'm already dealing with so much shit in my personal life. I'm just kind of like, I became really unbothered. And I'm gonna name a blog that has helped me tremendously during this time period. And it's called She Is So Bougie. She Is So Bougie is a blog. I love it so much. Helped me so much. And I have taken a lot from it. And like, I am so big on shutting up now. Like, I shut the fuck up now a lot, okay? I shut up. Like, I realized that I don't, because I was, like, raised to believe that you always have to answer to speak to people. Like, you always have to answer to people. And that, like, really, like, fucked me up in the longest. But really, I don't. I don't have to answer to every single last person out here. Because I was taught that if you don't answer to people, that's rude. And I get that, like, in elementary school. Like, you don't answer, that's rude. But, like, no, I'm grown. I can make my own decisions. If I don't want to talk about something, I'm not going to. If I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. I don't simply want to do it. And I don't have to. Okay? Because, no, not everything requires a response. Not everything requires a reaction. And I took this away from She's So Bougie. Like, I have become so unbothered since my mama died. I'm not even joking. Like, since like the beginning of 2023, not even the beginning, but like I'm so unbothered. Like, I just no longer give a fuck, and I'm just worried about me, myself, and I, especially because I've been focusing so much more on myself and like coming more to terms with my asexuality. I'm not trying to say that I'm being selfish or whatnot, but I'm just like, I just really care more about me, my family, my friends, and all of that. I'm just done being stressed out about having to answer to everyone and everything. What is your response on this? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Like, when y'all be in my comment section asking, what is your opinion on this? I'm just like, I don't need an answer. Like, not everything requires my response. Not everything requires my answer. I just want to have as least stress as possible onto me. And another thing that has helped tremendously with my mom's death, getting a journal. I highly recommend getting a journal. Do not be out here blabbering all your thoughts and opinions and what scares you and shit on the internet. Don't do that. That's bad. Get a journal, please. Write out your feelings in there. Like I said, very affordable. Journals are like $1. Very much affordable. And if you don't have a journal, you can write it in the notes app on your phone. I recommend journaling so much for sure. But one thing in particular that has always helped me since I was a little girl, whenever I was like sad or feeling down and whatnot, was making things. And I've started like, making things. And I hate the fact that I feel like I do this because it's like not thinking about my problems or running away from my problems. Because y'all, I had this one really horrible therapist before, and I was trying to talk to her about like, yeah, I like to make things like, to help me deal with what I'm going on. And she was like, well, it looks like you have a negative relationship with art. And I was just like, girl, like, you're not being helpful. And it's, oh God. So she, bless her heart, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't wish no bad on her. She just didn't understand me, I'd say. But I like making things. You remember on my channel, I used to make like remixes of like music all the time. I would do like slow reverb. I started like making little remixes like that again, but like simply just for myself. I haven't really been posting them or whatnot. And I've gotten back to making night chords again. Like, I don't know. I either make slow reverbs or I make night chords. And I started like experimenting with like making like lo-fi hip hop beats. I most likely will make those public simply because I just be trying to make beats and like, if I'm making a slow reverb or a nightcore or like a lo-fi beat for something, it's for something that don't fucking exist already. Like, I can't go on YouTube and find it. So that's something else I've been doing. Also, I used to play piano years ago. Yeah, that's one thing a lot of people don't know about me. I know how to play the piano. I started playing piano again. I started practicing again. So that's been like another way that I've been dealing with it. One thing I've noticed when it comes to death is that like some people just don't want to fucking talk about it. Some people don't want to talk about it, and their way of like, working through their pain and their trauma and all of that shit is just like making things. So that's just one thing that's always been that. And I know people be like, y'all be wrong for saying art saved you. No, I don't give a fuck. Art saved me. Art literally has saved me numerous times in my life. You're not about to tell me what did not and did save me. Like, because it did. When I was a little girl, art saved me. During that time in middle school when I was going through it badly and I was like obsessing over all the Disney Channel celebrities, art saved me. High school, art saved me. And art is literally saving me right now. I literally started making a comic because y'all know that Progenies is like part of the reason why. That's like art right there. That shit saved me right there. But I have been making a comic, and you guys know about it. You like sign up for the audition and all that, which I'm turned into a comic dub, and I'm super duper excited to share that. But I have some of my drawings that I would like to share with you guys. I have gone through. This is like my third sketchbook that I'm on since my mama died. I used to draw when I was before this dickhead in my art class actually had said my art was ugly, and it discouraged me from drawing for like over 10 years of my life. So I had stopped drawing then, and then randomly, like one day in February, I was so sad, and I just got one of my sketchbooks. It was not filled up. I just drew on it for like one page. I just got one of my old sketchbooks, and I drew a picture of a little cat, like a little doodle of a cat. And I sent it to my friends, and I was like, y'all, I just drew this. And they were like, that looks good. You drew a little cat. That's good. And I was like, was my art ugly, or was that person just being a dickhead? So I just started drawing more and more and more again. I started like doing more digital art. And I just want to go ahead and say this before anybody tries to talk shit, because I noticed that I've grown a lot. Because somebody can call my art ugly not too long ago, and I didn't care. Like, I'm telling y'all, I have become so unbothered. But I do want to get on here and show you guys some of my art that I have in my sketchbook. But also I want to show you guys some of it that I have digitally too. So give me 1 second. I'm sorry, this wig is low-key kind of making my nose itch because like the strings keep falling. But yeah, let me show you guys some of what I got. So you guys see her? But this drawing that I have right here, it is Miss Bellum. I kind of giving you guys a little sketchbook tour. I like to watch these sometimes. I've been posting like more of like my art on my Instagram page, so you guys should follow me over there. I'm most likely gonna start doing sketchbook tours on like my doing IG real sketchbook tours. But this is a picture I drew of like one of my best friends, Shayla. I love her. It was a look that she wore when she went to New York, and this is just like a doodle of it. A lot of what I'm showing you guys, I went ahead and put in Clip Studio Paint. I'm still like working around like the kinks of Clip Studio Paint. I'm trying to show you guys sketches in here that I didn't do digitally, but I drew a picture of Lanella and Marinette together because one of my friends was like, I think they would make good friends. And yeah, so that's a picture I drew. And these past few pictures I'm showing, these is like the total drama art style. I'm really into like funky Western animation like art style. Somebody told me what the name of it is, but like I've really been like big on like the penny and stocking art style. That's literally what my comic looks like. I drew a picture of Natalie. I'll show y'all when I do that digitally. I drew a picture of Dunya. I didn't do this one yet. If you guys know who Dunya is, they are a musician. I love them. I've been listening. Like, I've been like discovering a lot of music that I used to listen to all the time. All before my mom died. I've been like, it's so weird how like so much of my mom's passing is just me like discovering, like rediscovering things that I used to look at all the time before she like died. It's so strange. But I used to listen to Dunya a lot before she died, and I started listening to her again, and I drew this picture of her. I didn't do it digitally yet, but yeah, that's Dunya. I have some more stuff in here that I never showed. That's a spoiler from JFN, so I can't post that. Some of the stuff in here is like comic book spoilers from my comic. I'll show y'all this one. But basically, Penny is sitting backstage at Jagged's like album release party. She's not really backstage, but like Jagged's style album release party. And I find it so funny. I didn't even realize that many people actually knew who Jagged Stone was. Because I was at this convention, you know, ATL comic convention, that shit that happened. This lady actually recognized my bag. And she was like, oh, Jagged Stone. I was like, yeah, boy. This is Alex's design for the comic. Alex right there. And then that's, oh yeah, I gave her bubble braids. I just wanted to do that with her head. I drew Marinette. She's Blasian in the story, so I drew her like this really cute hairdo. Like, okay, I drew like Gumball and Darwin art. I'm trying to find it. I put it on my Instagram page, and I'll show it to you guys when I show you guys my digital art. Okay, I drew like a black version of like Gabriel and Natalie as like Bratz dolls. Like, Yeah, I just did that. And I drew like Mrs. Meaty. Like, y'all know Mr. Meaty? I drew like a Mrs. Meaty, like with the Bratz dolls. It was kind of weird. Okay, this is like Marinette. I drew like the hairstyles I wanted to give her because I do want to put her hair down, but she got a cute little pony poof ball on her head. I actually am gonna get this picture done tonight digitally. It's not done yet, but I drew a human version of like Tiki and Kalki. I promise y'all I don't only draw miraculous. Okay, what I was saying before we got cut off, I promise y'all I do not just draw miraculous art. I do not. Okay, I have a whole bunch of other like fan art that I draw too for like other fandoms and such. This is the Mrs. Meaty. Okay, and you know what Mr. Meaty is? It's like a show that used to air on Nickelodeon, and I was like, Mrs. Meaty, like not Mrs. Meaty, Miss Meaty. And yeah, the Bratz dolls were getting at Mr. Meaty, Miss Meaty. I need to make that digital, honestly, because I really want to post it, because I feel like people will be like, oh my god, Mr. Meaty. And that's part of the reason why I've been seeing like more of my drawings in like my videos too. If you guys remember, that's like the most recent one that I've had. Yeah, I've just really like recently fallen back in love with drawing. And I have had people ask me if I was like taking commissions and whatnot, and I most definitely do want to start taking commissions. Like people knowing, like, because people do tell me that they really do enjoy my art style. And I was like, yeah, I do, but I want to feel a little bit more comfortable first with that. So yeah, let me actually show you guys some of what it looks like digitally. I said this already, but art has literally saved me. Like, it's literally because I've been struggling a little bit with like nightmares and stuff recently relating to death. Literally an amazing coping mechanism for me. And I don't, like I said, I've said this, I was like, I high-key don't care that people think my art is ugly, because art is subjective. I posted something before, and it was like a meme of Claudine Wolfe, and it was like, draw what you want, because somebody gonna say your art ugly anyway. But I was like, no, that's literally it. Like, somebody's gonna think your art's ugly regardless. So yeah, as you guys know, you guys follow like the Style Queen zine. The Style Queen zine, that is the Claudine that I drew for that. And this is the picture I put on like the inside of the Style Queen zine. That is Lanella. You guys saw this one on my community tab. This is my best friend Kayla. I have like numerous best friends, y'all, but like focus on her, please. But that's literally my best friend Kayla. I'm trying, I don't want to like swipe. Okay, I don't have nothing inappropriate in here. It's okay. So that's like Penny and Natalie from my video that I drew. This is Zaria. She's a cosplayer that I follow. Her name is Baby Groot Loop Cosplays on Instagram. I really do love her. That's Darwin. I drew that gumball meme that everybody was doing, but that's Darwin. That's Gumball. That's Gabe Nat. This Gabe Nat art. This is my friend Shayla, who did her digitally. This is like the Total Drama art style. That's her. That's Miss Bellum digitally. Y'all, I think I might actually, because I'm obsessed with this look. I think I high-key want to like put this on my shop or whatnot, but I'm still like getting comfortable with sharing my art and whatnot. So I was like, is it too soon to put it on your website? I don't know. Obsessed with this look though. I was like, this is like that episode where she had to work for like Fuzzy Lumpkins and he had her walking around with no shoes on. So that it, what was the look though? It was giving. And like I like to draw black edits, so yeah. This is Lanella and Marinette, and I think they look so cute. I love this so much. This is Natalie actually. I drew like a black version of Natalie in a Total Drama art style. Bad bitch. Bad bitch. I love this. And then I like gave her like a different background with it too, and it looks spooky. Like it's a bit kind of spooky. I love that. There's some more art in here. That's like the most recent art I've done. Manny Moon, Moon Killer on Instagram. That is them right there. A cosplayer that I follow that I really like. They did like, this is Jujutsu Kaisen cosplay that they're wearing. That's Natalie. That's Chata. You guys know I do modeling. Chata is usually the amazing woman who does my makeup. That's her. That's our cosplay as like Lumpy Space Princess. I gotta picture of Danny in here somewhere. Okay, Space Danny. That's Danny right there. This is when they did their Anne cosplay, like Anne Butchoy from like Amphibia, and I thought they looked really pretty in it. So, yo boy! And then also, this is Abbott Elementary art right here. Greg and Janine, I ship like really hard, and I think they're super cute. And I was trying to figure out how to draw the kiss the other day, and it was just not working. I'm gonna get it right though. I'm gonna get it right. And then also, a lot of you guys like my album, not my album cover, my book cover, and that's that right there. I did it myself. I was really nervous about that, but I did, and I went through. And then just Natalie and Penny art. Basically what they look like here is like what they're gonna look like in the comic. But Natalie's like blazing in the story. Basically, like, she gonna have a tan. Like, she look pale in these. But, like, basically how she looks here is how she's gonna look more in the story. I want both sides of her to be present. So that is just kind of like some ways that I really just kind of been dealing with it. I've just kind of been ignoring everything and making art, in different forms of it. And I know you guys had asked me some questions. Sorry, y'all, my nose is itching. Every time I record, my nose starts to itch. But you guys have asked me some questions, and I'll go ahead and answer them, and we're most likely just gonna cut it there because it's just been a kind of like morbid video. I don't want it to be super morbid. I recently lost my mom. Did you start having a lot of dreams about her after she died? Yes, I most definitely did. It's part of the reason why like my anxiety be so bad sometimes. Sometimes like the dreams like so be freaking me out so bad. It like makes me really tired during the day, and I just kind of have to go back to sleep. When I was hanging out with my friends for MomoCon, they was like, "Hey, you want to go party with us?" I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. I even like took a nap on their couch one of the days because I was just too tired. But yeah, that does happen. It happens to a lot of people. It's honestly a bit disturbing if we're being very transparent and honest about it. I can't stand it. It's like you're in my dream, but then I wake up and you're not here anymore. It's just like, it's always just gonna be low-key disturbing that they're in your dream. It's weird. Should I open up to friends about my dad's death while I'm still processing it? Yes, actually. People do need to be very like understanding about people when someone dies and they like bring it up, because a lot of these people, they do need to talk about it. I noticed that like when it comes to like someone dying, if they don't feel comfortable talking about it, don't bring it up. But if they bring it up that they kind of want to talk about the death, I think you should talk to them about it. It really helps them. It really like, helps them deal with their problems and whatnot. But it should go both ways. I'm not trying to say this is like trauma dumping or whatnot, but like I don't necessarily be one to like bring up death about my family's death like around my friends, but they're necessarily cool about it because we're like family regardless, so I can like bring it up to them and whatnot, but they never like try to force it out of me or anything like that. But like when I'm ready to talk about it, I talk about it. What are mourning periods, and are they different types that people experience? Okay, it's weird. Y'all know how they be talking about the 5 stages of grief? I think it's a bit like that, I'd say. Everybody mourns differently. It's really hard to deal with because I'm not even joking when I say this. It's on my mind all the time when my mom dies, that my mom died. I'm not even joking. It weighs on you. It sucks. And I remember somebody trying to say, your mama died a year ago. Get over it. Bitch, that is not a long time. I'm telling you, that is not a long time that people think it is. You never really get over death. You just learn how to work around it. You just gotta figure out how to work around it. That's one thing that they don't teach you. And I honestly think we need to have better death etiquette. We don't know. People, Hollywood don't know how to react to it. We don't know how to react to it. I feel like people need to understand that death is terrible. And I remember people were saying things about like Kanye, how he ain't never got over the death of his mom. And I was like, yeah, I understand that to like a certain extent because that shit fucks you up. But then also, a lot of what he is doing is very bad for the culture. And then also he's like almost old enough to be my daddy. So yeah. Kanye is a case that stresses me out. Go watch FB Signifier's video on him. What do you do to make yourself feel better when you're sad about the loss? Draw. I write, I make shit. Like I just write in my journal. I draw, I write. I told you, like, I just make essays. Like, cause that's part of the reason why I published like 2 like collection of essays books. Why I just write about things that are like on my mind or whatever. Music helps a lot. I don't really like to listen to sad music, I'd say. Sad music makes it worse. I like to listen to a lot of upbeat. I like to listen to like modeling runway music, like the music they will play on the runway. I think that's pretty like upbeat type music. Having like a Disney Channel dance party, like a Disney dance party, a Nickelodeon dance party, that right there helps a lot. Like just kind of doing things that kind of like take you back to the time period when things were a lot simpler and whatever. What does it feel like when you first find out? For me, I'm stuck in shock. I feel like I am still stuck in shock. Because it just hits me like it really did happen. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't cry. Like the day she died, I didn't cry. But like that entire week later, I cried. I cried for like a whole week later. I still cry about it often. It's weird. It's so weird. Like I'd say, because you're like in shock because you have to sit there and process the fact I'm never ever gonna see that person again. It don't feel right. I'll just let you know that. It's just like, because like y'all even said something about how it was stressful for me taking care of her, but then in that moment I realized I didn't have to take care of her anymore. But then realizing the reason why I didn't have to take care of her anymore hurt. What is your way of coping? Making things. I showed you guys like some of my drawings or whatever. Do you watch anything in particular to cope? I just love animation. I love cartoons. I've been reading mangas a lot more lately, and I've been recently. I don't understand why I'm reading this one particular manga because the shit's so damn dark, but it's the gangsta manga. Bitch, that's my story, okay? That is not a story I need to be reading right now with all this, but I love it. It eats down. And also, I feel like I'm okay because I can relate to a lot of the shit that the characters done went through, especially Alex. So, I feel like I'm okay with that one because I can relate, but I could not watch Never Have I Ever. Like, somebody had recommended I watched it, and then I did, and then the episode literally started with her dad dying, and I was like, nope. And it was literally like a week after my mama died. I couldn't do it. So these two I'm going to combine together. It's how do you move on? How do you heal from it when it's painful? Oh, I said I was not going to cry. It's not something that you can literally move on from and get over with, but you have to learn how to like work around it. Like life still goes on. You still have to go to work. You still have to go to school. Like you still have to get shit done. You still have to go out and follow your dreams. But I will say that my mom's death honestly did give me the urge to like actually go after the things I want to do more and like stop letting people treat me bad and whatever and do better about like the kinds of friends I have and whatnot. It's just, these two questions are weird because it's just like, you can't. And the thing about healing is that death is something that literally will make you remember almost all the bad things that have happened to you in your life. I will say that. That's why when Cameron Boyce died, I was so distraught because it was reminding me of so much of what happened to me at that time period. And then it's like, when my mama died, it's like that, but like on 10. So, you know, it's a lot. And like self-care helps. Like, you know, we talk about the bath bombs and the face scrubs and all that shit. But then also sometimes self-care is just reading a manga. Sometimes self-care is just throwing on like Tom and Jerry or like The Murder, She Wrote. I've been watching old TV, y'all. I really do. Sometimes self-care is like listening to an album for like 5 hours straight, or listening to a podcast that you listened to already but you wanted to rewatch it, or rewatching a video essay you've seen already. Self-care is sometimes just ignoring everything going on in the world and just drawing in your sketchbook, because I have to do that so many times. The best way for me to heal is just, it's always just me making things. And as you guys have read my like 2 collection of essay books, for those who have read them, thank you. Thank you so much. A lot of that is, I wouldn't really say it's like me writing about my trauma, but it is also me telling a bit of my story, letting people know you're not alone in situations like that. It's like my mom's death is realizing that I have so much to work on as myself. Like, I'm so young. I still have my whole life ahead of me. Alright, we gotta hurry up because the camera about to die. Art is my best way of coping with almost everything in life. And ignoring like the outside world, just having to shutting yourself off for a minute and just like, oh no. I changed, like I said, me changing up my content, I say, where I really want to focus more on animation and just filmmaking and just books and all of that, instead of like mindless celebrity drama that we all talk about. easily, and then it goes on, because I realize that is just stressful to me. I don't even be watching drama videos like that because I just simply don't care no more. That is just like the best way for me to cope, just like ignoring a lot of shit, ignoring things. I'm just like, yeah, no, it's not worth it. The act of being unbothered is literally how I've been. And then how do you get over it? I know how old the person is that sent this to me. I care for this person deeply. We are young. We are still learning ourselves. We are still learning who we are. Because a lot of people don't lose their parents until they're like their late 30s, late 40s, late 50s, even late 60s if you get that lucky. We lost our parents like in the 20s. Early 20s to be exact. This is a time of our life where we're still working through the pain of the shit that we dealt with during childhood. You're not gonna get over it for a while, I'd say at least. It's painful, it hurts, and it's okay to own up to that. You don't ever like get over it, I'd say, is like something that is so wrong to say to someone when like someone in their life died. You don't ever really get over someone so close to you in your life dying. You never get over that shit. And that's why I got so mad when someone was like, yo, so what, your mom died, get over it. Bitch, shut up. You don't fucking know me. Like, you never really get over it, I'd say. My mom ain't been dead for 2 years so far. I'm not over it. I won't be over it for a while. And if it takes you a while to get over that person's death, it's okay. Everyone deals with things differently. If you gotta be to yourself for a little bit, do that. And you gotta draw and write and just binge watch your favorite shows. I've been legit thinking about binge watching Sex and the City. I have been thinking about it to like deal with it and just kind of take my mind off of it. Do that. I don't know how much longer the grief is gonna be having these effects on my body. And until all of this shit, all of this pain, this physical pain, weird appetites, headaches, bad sleep schedules where I sleep for 2 days straight or I don't sleep at all, until that shit stops, I ain't gonna be over it. But I didn't mean to cry. I didn't want to cry about making this because, no. But thank you guys so much for watching this. I really do hope it helps somebody out there. Yeah, death is difficult to deal with. It fucking sucks. But we're gonna be alright. Thank you guys so much for watching, and bye.